You'll do the intro. Do you know what to say?
He's gone a bit shy.
It's gone shy. You're supposed to say, welcome everyone to the Goblins live show.
Yeah.
Poor little thing. Welcome everyone to the Goblins live show. We've got an awesome show lined up for you today where we're going to discuss zero motorcycles and yeah, they're not good. No bueno. Zero motorcycles. No bueno. Yeah, you ready, wifey?
I'm ready.
Let's roll the intro. Still needs to do the new intro for this.
Yes.
No, we need to go both of us. Shoot some videos. Oh, I found a place where we can shoot videos quietly as well by Birdlit.
Okay.
Yeah. How are we doing, wifey?
I'm so tired.
How you doing, Pug? You doing alright? He's been sleeping all day, haven't you?
He looks, you know when a dog slept so much, they look a little bit ruffled, like a bit squished. He looks a bit squished.
He's a bit squished.
Yeah.
So, have we been up to anything interesting this last week, wifey?
I think I've literally just worked, and that's it.
Same old then, I suppose.
Been full on for me.
Yeah, it's been full on for me as well. We've got quite a lot of things planned for July and August, so we're trying to do all the work now so it's easier for us when we're going away on weekends and stuff like that, because most of the work that we do is over weekends, so we're trying to spend as much time as possible getting all the content ready throughout July and August, and we're not under any pressure then over the weekends where we're actually travelling.
We're not going to feel uncomfortable, are we, that we haven't done any work?
Yeah. So we're doing a bit of travelling. We're going to Bedford in a couple of weeks, and we're travelling up to Cumbria towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got a load of other stuff
We've got
planned in
loads of
August as well.
And stuff coming up, haven't we?
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's a lot going on that we're trying to plan for. So
so his face.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's staring at me, like he's not even blinking. A little bit creepy. Oh no, he just blinked. It's fine.
That was staring competition with the dog.
I always lose because my eyes start watering. Yes, I have tried.
Hi Ashley, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Hi Dope Star Gaming, good to see you. Yeah, so I don't know, nothing new to report really. We started off our new release schedule this week, so we have live show clips going on Tuesdays and reaction videos coming out on Wednesdays as well. So the one yesterday hasn't done too well, so it'll probably take a bit of time before these videos start getting picked up by the algorithm and all that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll try it out for a few weeks and maybe a couple of months. And see if it picks up.
And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
I'm having great fun filming them, and then editing them is quite fun as well.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't actually approved the video that I've done yet, so you might go, this is horrific, that's not going out.
No, so I do most of the editing, but in order to help with editing, I've enlisted wifey to give me a hand with the reaction videos and a few other bits and pieces. So yeah, she's got her first one done today.
It's not the first video I've ever edited though.
No, but it's a different style of video to what you've done in the past, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah. What?
I've made it quite good. Not saying you don't, but mine this one is. Well, I can't wait for you to watch it. I've been trying to get you to watch it, haven't I? While it's been half ready and you didn't want to.
Yeah, I look forward to watching that one. I think that's going to be interesting.
The thing is, I make myself laugh, and when I was up till midnight or something yesterday editing, wasn't I? And I was just giggling because I just thought it's absolutely hilarious to think. But I don't know if I'm maybe a bit warped in my sense of humour and people won't find it funny. But
don't know. We'll have to just wait and see, I suppose.
Well, you've got to approve it first.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. I just got to make probably a few tweaks here and there, but
Not touching it.
It should be pretty good.
No, it's got to go out as it is.
So yeah, Bojo resigned today. If
Yeah.
any of you haven't heard on the news, it's been everywhere, all over the news about Boris Johnson resigning. So
what was it that came up? Lad Bible Australia came up with it earlier.
what?
Boris Johnson.
What do you mean?
Like they had like a live thing or something they were talking about on Facebook about Boris.
I don't know.
It's just weird that it's gone, like literally everyone is talking about it.
Yeah, because it's quite a big event, isn't it? So, a total reshuffle of government is always a big deal. And literally, it's a total reshuffle of government, literally, because half the cabinet resigned this week, and then it's just too much pressure on Johnson. So not to resign.
He is one, isn't he?
What do you mean?
A Johnson.
Oh, don't be like that. Don't be harsh. He's been all right. I mean, what did you think of him anyway?
There's a spider coming down the blinds. Sorry.
Concentrate.
Focus. It's just cool because it's like a shadow, and I can. Anyway, I don't have any opinion because I don't really understand any of it.
Yeah, no, but like over the last couple of years, whilst he's been prime minister, what do you?
I think he looks like a scarecrow.
But like, has he done anything that has, I don't know, impacted us or impacted you, or has his cabinet done anything to impact us? Well, I'll tell you one thing. Furlough for me really helped. So,
yeah, but that was Rishi Sunak, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but it has to be approved.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but I think Rishi Sunak. I've heard more that he's done and more that he's tried to implement than things that Boris have done.
Well, because he's the chancellor. I mean,
So can he not run for prime minister now?
Well, he probably will. Yeah.
Because I like him. I think.
I don't know.
Until they're in power.
Over the last few months, he's been heavily criticised for certain things, which has impacted people's pockets, especially around pensions and that.
But isn't he the guy that got us all like the rebates and stuff, like the energy rebates and the council rebates?
Well, yeah, but it's to help with the cost of living.
I know, but at least he did that.
But it's not enough.
No, but at least he did something.
Well, yeah, I mean,
like Boris should have been like everyone needs to have 4-day working weeks, but with all the same, like 100% of the pay still. That's what Boris should be doing, or should have done.
I don't know, maybe not, but
no, he should have.
give us all an extra day off per week, yeah.
Well, so many companies are doing it, and
some companies are
it
trying
increases
it out,
productivity.
Apparently so, yeah.
So
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Bojo leaving.
I
like, because there's a lot of things that they did, kind of early on in the pandemic, which, I mean, things like lockdowns and all that. Okay, fine. That they might not have done lockdowns quickly enough and stuff, but at the same time, when it came to helping out people that were losing their jobs, like me, I was one of those people that was being made redundant, literally at the start of COVID, because the company that I worked for simply couldn't sustain the amount of employees that it had, because a vast amount of their income was based on events and things, and events all got cancelled because COVID lockdowns and all that. So yeah, the whole furlough scheme really saved me. For how many months it was? 3 months. Was it a quarter that they had the full furlough scheme, and then
something
after
like
that they knocked it down to 80%. It was so bad for the company I was working for. It was so bad that even when the government planned to knock it down to 80% of a worker's salary, and the company had to pay 20%, they couldn't afford that either.
Yeah, redundancies happened, didn't they?
So that's when I got made redundant. But it's all worked out well because I mean, I've got a significantly better job now than I did back then.
I think
so. Yeah, it works in roundabouts, these things. But I mean, so the furlough scheme was good.
I think the thing we have to appreciate is that the pandemic was something that we've not seen in our time, really, like this, was it? With like the way that it spread and the way that they had to deal with it somehow, and it could have gone so much worse.
I mean, I think that the last time that there was a pandemic that was this big was the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Back in the 1910s or 20s, whenever that was.
You've got to give him some kudos for at least doing what he could do.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
But he's always going to be criticised for what he did do anyway and what he didn't do.
Every world leader was going to be struggling to keep their jobs by the end of COVID because it was such a unique and, it was such a situation that hardly anyone knew what the right answers were at the time.
I mean, I think the Prime Minister of New Zealand, she's pretty safe, isn't she?
Well, we don't know that. We're not in New Zealand, so we can't really make that comparison.
The way she reacted and stuff was
and then so their tourism industry has totally collapsed. And they're still in lockdown to this day. Same as Japan as well. So Japan are totally willing to sacrifice an entire sector of their industry just to... That's what I mean. These decisions aren't just like, they don't impact they impact a vast majority of they impact more than one area of society, so it's absolutely impossible. But I mean, I'm glad that he's resigned to some extent. Just I don't know, just because I don't vote Conservative or Labour really. I kind of try to vote for the party that I think is going to do the best job. I'm not like Stonewall Labour or Stonewall Conservative or Liberal or what have you. But with the amount of turmoil that the Conservative Party has been in over the last 6 months, even a bit longer than that, it's been insane. So I'm not surprised really that it's all come down to this. But yeah, so quite an interesting occasion. And yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens to everyone. There's talks of tax cuts and things, which hopefully will be really good, especially with fuel prices going up and all that. Still, they haven't stopped going up. I mean, when we spoke about this last, I think petrol prices were at 160 something on average, and now they're averaging 190. So in a couple of months, or a month even, I can't remember the last time we spoke about it, but in that time, it's shot up, and all of that is destroying people's livelihoods. So fingers crossed that they can do something about the cost of living, because it's impacting so many people. It's not even a joke. It's not a joke. But I mean, I suppose that's been the biggest issue, is how they've handled the cost of living for me. Gas prices, energy prices going up, and fuel prices going up. These are things that people rely on every single day. And, when you get to a point where you can't pay for one or the other because you simply don't have enough money because it's too expensive, there's a big problem there.
And there's families choosing between feeding their children and heating the house or having hot water or what have you. Yeah,
exactly. So, yeah, hopefully it's a good thing, but...
Watch this space.
We'll have to wait and see. But...
I think that's enough on that then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, on to another kind of political issue, I suppose, is zero motorcycles. So we've spoken about Zero before quite a few times, because they're trying to brand themselves as the Tesla of the motorcycle industry.
Can I turn this fan down?
Why?
Because hair keeps blowing into my mouth.
Oh, it's boiling in here. It's not going to help.
Just down one.
It's not going to help. No, you're not turning it down. So you got to do it anyway.
No man tells me what to do.
Anyway, so recently Yummy Noob released a video on Zero motorcycles and how their business model is a total scam.
When you told me about this and you said, this is a discussion point, I was like, no, you're joking. Like this isn't real. And I've looked and it is real, and I'm in shock. I'm not surprised in a way though, but I am.
I'm totally surprised.
Just money grabbing. That's all it is.
Well, it's not money grabbing. It's bad business practices. So anyway, for those of you that didn't watch that video, I was totally shocked by it, because this is one of those practices that is, it's the kind of thing that Apple would do.
Yeah.
You know, it's the kind of thing that Apple would do. As a company, this is the kind of idea that they would think of, and if they could implement it, they probably would. So Zero motorcycles, they basically all come pre-built, and they have everything. They have all the features and everything is built into the bike. But when you buy the bike at say the starting price, which is, what was it, £16,000?
Yeah, the one I've got up, this particular model, is 16,190.
So they vary between 16 and I suppose upwards to 30k, depending on the kind of mods that you want or the extras that you want. But believe it or not, all the extras, or most of the extras, are already on the bike when you buy it. Regardless of how much you pay for it, what price you pay for it, all the features are already on the bike. What they do is they say, well, if you want heated grips, you have to pay 700 quid, and we'll unlock them. So it's all software. They'll unlock it. If you want slightly faster charging time, oh, that's okay. We'll just unlock it.
Yeah.
You know, if you want some extra battery storage, oh, we'll just unlock it for you. Yeah, but we'll charge you £2,000, and then there you go. You can have some extra battery life. It's already on the bike.
I've got the actual prices here if you are interested in how much it actually costs.
All right, go for it.
So the bet, obviously, as I mentioned, this is a ZF 14.4.
Can we see if we can bring it up on the?
Yeah, good idea.
On here, let's see if it's still there. Oh, yeah, we need to activate the sharing. That's the only thing. So anyway, if you open up the link that's in the document, if you can find it. So whilst the wife is sorting that out, basically it is a total scam, and it's only it's a very few, I suppose, a small number of companies that think, oh, this is a good idea. That they'd already invest the R&D, they'd already invest the production and all that into building features into the bike, only for you to take it home, and then you have to pay an extra fee to unlock these features that the bike already has built in. And that absolutely just, I don't know, it shocks me. It shocks me because these kinds of bikes now are being treated like mobile phones. They're being treated like tech. Rather than motor vehicles. So it kind of begs the question whether or not that's how it's all going to go in future, you know?
So is it this one?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's as a shocker. And the thing is that I don't think it's sustainable. That's I don't know. Like, do you really think that customers are going to accept that? Once all the other brands, once Honda start doing their electric motorcycles, once Yamaha start doing their electric motorcycles, once Triumph start doing their electric motorcycles, do you think that they are going to charge people to unlock features that are already on the bike? You know?
I think this is the thing, because they are the only ones out there who are 100% electric, they probably think they can get away with it.
They're not the only company that are that are just electric.
Really?
Yeah, there's a few others. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Zero are like, I don't know, the most popular ones. Well, I say the most popular, the most commercialized brand, I suppose. The brand that I've seen the most in the media, on TV. I've seen Zero motorcycles featured on TV. So, yeah. But I don't know. I don't think this is a practice that they're going to be able to get away with. So it's almost like it's a cash grab right now. You know, whilst they can, they're going to do it now. They're going to scam customers, and then eventually, once everyone else catches up to them, then they'll be like, oh well, Kawasaki aren't doing this. Well, maybe we shouldn't either. That's what I think's going to happen.
Sales will drop when things like Kawasaki come out, though. Anyway, I reckon.
But sales probably are already impacted by this practice.
It's not loading.
No, is it not coming up?
No. Technical difficulties.
Well, I'll tell you what. How about I bring it up on this other laptop?
That
here?
sounds like a smart idea.
It's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to see, but hopefully we'll be able to bring it up for you. If I can type. How'd you spell motorcycle? All right, so let's move you guys over to the flashy website.
If you go into where it says Dual Sport Bikes,
Dual Sport,
and then the first one on the left, the DSR.
Yeah.
I think this is the bike I've got up. The website's great. It doesn't even bloody work. Right, yeah. So if you just scroll down a little bit. Actually, I don't know where you've gone.
Well, I've just gone to explore.
Okay.
But
So, yeah, I can talk about this bike just while you look at it. So,
Okay.
The base for this model is £16,190, and that's, as you say, it's got everything on it already. To add a power tank, now a power tank is... what?
Right, power tank I actually think is actually an extra. Because what they do is so you know where the fuel tank would be usually on a motorcycle, so it would be here, this sort of area. Well, apparently on the stock models that is actually like a little cupboard.
It's a storage compartment.
Yeah, you can actually put stuff in it, and basically this extra power bank they put it in there.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah. So,
But
I don't think that counts.
No, but I just want to tell you about it.
Okay.
Let me talk, man. So it's £3,059 to have it. That doesn't include installation, though.
3,000.
Yeah.
£3,055.
59.
£59 plus
installation.
Plus installation. How much is installation?
It doesn't say, funnily enough. Okay.
Okay.
So to have the 6 kilowatt charge tank, so apparently that significantly reduces time to recharge because the additional charger is installed in place of the tank storage compartment. The charge tank is not compatible with motorcycles equipped with the power tank accessory. Price does not include installation. That is £2,300 for an additional for the 6 kilowatt charge tank. Now, to have a quick charger, how much do you reckon you're paying for a quick charger?
Is this an added accessory though?
I think so, yeah.
So this isn't actually stuff that's built into the bike already.
No, but I'm just going through the additional things you have to buy.
Well, you don't have to buy this though.
I know, but
thing.
people wouldn't they? But just get the price.
I don't know, £2,000.
No, £702.
Okay, that's not too bad.
The 6 kilowatt charge tank is an installation as well. It's not on the bike already. So all these things that they're saying is that you're saying are on the bike already. You just have to activate them. The base bike is £16,190.
Yeah.
It doesn't on this website. It doesn't say that you have to have anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a very odd practice that they are doing, and well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to come out and say it. They shouldn't be doing it. Simple as that. Like, I don't know. Imagine that you take home a sofa that's got one of those recliners. And they put a padlock on the recliner, right? And then you have to pay someone to come out and basically take that padlock off before you start using the recliner. It's silly. Like, why would you buy that in the first place? If you wanted a reclining chair, you'd buy yourself a reclining chair to begin with.
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy a chair that has the potential or has the ability to be a recliner, and then they're like, sorry, you got to pay an extra £1,000
to recline.
To unlock it. It's silly. It's absolutely silly.
You're not truly buying the thing you think you're buying.
Exactly.
Do you think this is... have you said you think it's a scam?
No, without a doubt it's a scam.
I think it's false advertising
Without
as well,
a doubt,
really.
it's a scam. Well, no, I mean, they're not false. It's not false advertising if they advertise the base price of the motorcycle has this number of features.
But nowhere on the website does it say you have to unlock this to do this. Nowhere on there is it saying that.
That's interesting.
That's what I'm trying. That's literally what I'm trying to find now, is where this information has come from. Oh, tech.
That's the thing. On the Yaminu video, they actually had a Zero motorcycle there. I'm assuming that they sent it to them to review or what have you. So, I mean, they're getting their information from the horse's mouth, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's I just really wish that. Well,
maybe that's the thing. The fact that it's not showing this on their website, or it's not an easy place to find. You know, it's almost like you've got to look at their T's and C's, the small print, you know, to actually figure out what they're selling.
It sounds like they're the sort of people who'd give you the T's and C's on white piece of paper in white font, so you can't see them. But they'll say they were there.
See, these kinds of practices are evil. Legitimately evil. When you're already paying a massive amount of money for a motorcycle. I mean, look, when you spend £16,000 on a motorcycle, you can get yourself an amazing motorcycle. You can buy yourself a ZH2. You can buy yourself a ZX10i. You can buy yourself an R1, I think. You can buy yourself a Gixxer 1000. You know, there are loads and loads of motorcycles, top class flagship motorcycles you can buy for £16,000. And so what you're trying to say is that for £16,000 I only get the base model, and I don't even get all the features of that base model, and then you expect me to pay another £10,000, which by the way is more expensive than a Ninja H2, and it's not as good.
Did Yaminu say whether having the smartphone app was an additional feature? Or if you have, do you have to pay for it and it then unlocks things for you?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't. The app isn't.
The only reason I asked,
but I reckon that's how they probably say. You know, so you connect your phone to the bike, and then the bike will give you a load of options for extra purchases, DLC.
That's what I was saying.
Downloadable content.
Because in one of these things it says you can switch the ABS off or on. And I think part of that can be done via the app, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're like the additional pay an extra £5 a month and you can do these things.
I don't know, maybe.
But there's absolutely nowhere. I'm not saying Yaminu's lying. Like I'm definitely not saying that, because obviously you had the bike.
But it's not on the website.
On here.
It's not on the website.
I cannot find it. So I'm going to keep looking and see if I can find it.
That's really interesting. Really interesting.
I mean, it's definitely a. I think it's happening in the UK as well, isn't it? It's not just a thing; it's in America.
As far as I'm aware, this is worldwide. What they're doing, yeah. Okay. As far as I'm aware, but
I'm going to go into the American version of the website just in case.
Yeah.
And this is on all models.
Apparently so, yeah.
Righto.
So when you're thinking about electric, you think about kind of the future of transport: electric cars, electric motorcycles, electric bikes, electric scooters, electric everything. When a company is doing things like this, it doesn't help the transition. It doesn't help the sales. It basically drives customers away. You know, when you look at a motorcycle like this and you think, oh, okay, it looks nice, it probably has a nice amount of torque, and okay, fine, it's quiet, and you've got to charge it, and it probably doesn't have a lot of range and all that stuff, the usual gripes that people would have with electric motorcycles. But you know that this is it's inevitable that this is the kind of motorcycle that we will all be buying probably in the next 15 years. Yeah, brand new, at least, anyway, from brand new. And this is just going to drive people away. You're never ever going to buy a motorcycle that doesn't come with all that has all the features that you can't use them.
I was right. So you get the app. Sorry, I had to go into Reddit to find this. There's nothing on the website. There's so many articles as well around it.
This is all so shady.
It's so hidden. So basically, what it's saying here is the motorcycles have to be unlocked via in-app purchases, and that includes heated grips, faster charges, more range.
It's ridiculous.
So that's how you do it. I mean, can you hack the app?
No. Nope. But because I mean, you guys asked the question on one of our live shows a few weeks ago about whether or not I would test ride a Zero motorcycle, and I said yeah. I said, sure, I'll test ride a Zero motorcycle, but at the moment in the UK, you've got to travel to London and stuff, and there's a whole, I don't know, there's loads of hoops you've got to jump through before you can test ride one. Now I'm not so sure if I'm even going to bother, because why would I promote this company to our viewers when it's not deserved? If they were, if they just had legit business practices where they built all the features that people want on their bikes at the price that they're asking for, so there's no hidden taxes, there's no hidden this, hidden that. If you just spend the money you have, the budget you have, and you get the bike that you want, I would have promoted that. I would have been like, look, these bikes are the future of motorcycling. I would have been happy to say that, but I can't say this about this kind of business practice, this whole Apple ethos. I cannot do it. I will never promote it ever.
Really interesting. So I'm just reading through some of these these comments on this Reddit thread, and so many people have said that like one person said, well, what if someone's brought all of the range and all the charging upgrades and then they sell it on? And
will the next buyer have to unlock them again? No,
what they're saying is that Zero will probably reset the bike every time.
So the next person has to unlock the features again.
But many people have said this, that they think it's going to be subscription based, that they were saving...
What subscription based?
Like to keep these features unlocked. They reckon it's going to... This is just a speculation at this point. Someone says, well, I was saving for one. I'm going to consider something else. I'm out. I'm not going anywhere near them. This is their business model.
Yeah.
This is such... naughty word.
It's anti-consumer practices. It is truly anti-consumer. It's a company that has a decent product that you think, oh, yeah, I'll buy that. And then you realise that you're not buying what they're actually advertising. You have to pay extra money to get what you actually were looking for. It's stupid.
There's so many people saying that they're just not going to do this anymore. One person has said, and I think this is a really interesting discussion point, so, and I'm going to move away because I think you're going to explode when you hear this. People are weird. Know that anyway. You have to pay for things. If the price of the bike right now is the same as the bike was before without those features, what's the difference? Because they're on the bike and you can't use them without paying. The point is, if they're on the bike, you should be able to use them. That's like by me saying, here's my drink. You can't have it though. But you've paid for it, but you cannot drink this.
You have to pay an extra fee to drink it.
Yeah, you have to pay an extra fee. If you want this straw, it's even more on top. If you want the glass, it's even more. And that's what they're saying. They're saying, here we go. You paid for this, but you're not going to be able to get the 100% out of it that you expected to be able to get out of it.
So let's try and... I'm going to try and be devil's advocate for a second, because I like to try and come at these things from as many different arguments as possible, from many different viewpoints. So what if you buy the motorcycle, but you don't have enough money at the time of purchase to unlock the features that you want? So then a couple of months down the line, after you have the motorcycle in your possession, then you decide to spend the money on the extra charging, or the quicker charging, the extra charge, the heated grips, or what have you. You know, like I suppose that's something that you could do. But what if you decided to say, okay, I want the heated grips for one week, or for a couple of months over winter. So I want the heated grips over winter. So I buy them. Can I return that then?
Can you just turn it off
in the spring? Can I return it in the spring, get my money back?
No, I reckon not.
Right?
I reckon it'll be a bit like it won't be on a month by month basis. I reckon you'll be pulled into like a contract or something, and if you come out of it, you'll get charged.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, it just puts a lot of doubt into consumers' minds when you're with this stuff, you know? Yeah, with this shady practice, they don't have any of it advertised on their website.
Someone else may be able to find it, but I've gone into every single tab and I cannot find it.
Yeah, because it's deliberate. Deliberate. If they're making you look through the website, dig through the website to find information that you already know is correct, they're hiding it. They are deliberately trying to hide it. And look, we cannot condone this kind of business practice. Yeah, we just can't accept it. It's just not right. It's just not right. Even just at a moral level, it's not right. I don't know. I mean,
my God.
Fidelity, good to see you, mate.
Hi.
They say this is a practice that is sadly becoming more and more commonplace. The only solution is not to buy from any company that does it. Well, is it becoming more commonplace, or is it actually, one of those things that companies are trying to do to see how far they can go, how much they can get away with? That's what I mean. That's what I was saying earlier, that I don't think that they'd be able to keep this up. Once all the competition, once all the big motorcycle companies start throwing their weight around, I don't think that they're going to be able to continue doing it.
I found the costs.
Oh, okay.
In dollars, but I found the costs. Now, some of the upgrades... No? Okay. Some of the upgrades on the app are 10% faster charge, parking mode. Parking mode is low speed reverse and creep forward to claim the perfect parking spot. Use your feet. On dash navigation and 20% extended range. These are some of them. Okay. So do you want me to give you them, or do you want to guess how much they'd be?
Go on. Give me. I did watch the Yami new video recently. It was only released recently, but I can't remember how much it was.
So upgraded charging speed by 17% is...
to $300.
$295. Double your charging speed.
$700.
$1,495. Unlock 10% more battery capacity with a further 10% available when you tell your bike to do an extended range charge.
Read that one again.
Unlock 10% more battery capacity with a further 10% available when you tell the bike to do an extended range charge.
$2,000.
$2,195. Unlock on-dash navigation. So to unlock a sat-nav.
$500.
$195.
Okay.
Unlock parking mode, complete with reverse crawl.
They're paying you for a reverse gear on the bike. They're paying you. You're paying them. Rather.
They paid you, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
For a reverse gear on the bike. I don't know. $800.
$195. And lastly, the last one they've got here is heated grips.
$1,000.
$195. But I'm just trying to find...
See, okay, for what is it, $400-500 extra that they are charging you for the reverse, for the heated grips, and for, what was the other one, the navigation.
Yeah.
Just throw it in. Just throw it into the bundle of the bike. Just throw it into the cost. That probably cost the company nothing to install on the bike to begin with. So, it's like they're scraping the barrel of... They're trying to get every last cent,
they really are.
Every last penny from their buyers, from their customers. And that's just... I mean, yeah, okay, upselling and all that is a fairly standard business practice when you're selling things. But this is on a whole new level. This is on an industrial scale, but also, like, it just doesn't seem right. It just, all of this just doesn't seem right to me.
This article is arguing that turning on heated hand grips or sat-nav through an app is a lot easier than wiring it in yourself, but not for $400. I'd rather do it myself or get used to it.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, most motorcycles don't come with sat-navs.
No.
So you have to buy a pretty specialised bike for it to have a sat-nav.
Does
a
yours?
big Tourer. No, none of them. No.
I don't think my dad's does either.
No, none of the bikes that I've ever owned or seen have a sat-nav built into them.
Just put your phone on it.
Well, that's what everyone does. They put they get a mount for the handlebars and they whack their phones on there.
And it's a heck of a lot cheaper.
Well, unless you lose your phone
Well, you have insurance
as you ride, so you gotta make sure you get a good mount and you strap it in well. I mean, there are those videos of people riding along and their phones just fall.
Mm.
So
I fallen into a bit of a rabbit hole about these bikes now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of discussion, and I was going to say I kind of get it, but I don't. I don't get it. I don't understand where this idea came from, because it is just going to annoy people. It's going to annoy customers. That's the thing. And when you're buying a product, you don't expect customers to be annoyed, when they find out that, oh, I thought this bike had heated grips already. Like, no, sorry, you got to unlock it. It's
Well,
not
it
extra
does,
$200.
but you can't use them until you pay for them.
Silly.
There's nothing. There's nothing else that I can find anywhere. Everyone's just talking about how much it costs to charge it, and in the price of electricity, so like £2.23 or something. And but it is sus that I couldn't find that information out super easily, because what they want to do is they want to pull you in. They want to tempt you with the carrot and be like, come and get this, and then they go, but middle of winter, you need to turn these on. It's going to cost you $200. That can't be on a monthly thing. That it wouldn't surprise me if that was a yearly. It would cost $195, but I'd expect that to be a one-time, lifetime.
Cost. That cost is what you pay for that feature. You pay for it once, but there's literally nothing stopping them from, when you come to resell the bike, there's nothing stopping them from, like we were saying earlier, just resetting it, and then the new owner has to pay another $195
factory reset.
Exactly.
Because if it's tied to the telephone number or the email address of the person who's done it.
So, mobile phones. Imagine if you spent £1,000 on a phone. A lot of flagship phones cost £1,000 and up nowadays. You get 3 camera lenses, but you can only use one of them until you pay the phone manufacturer some extra money to unlock the extra lenses.
That would infuriate me so much.
Yeah.
Because it's not what was advertised.
It's just
I'm not getting what I thought I was getting.
Imagine if you have a battery capacity inside your phone. You know what it is. You know what the battery capacity is. But the company will deliberately limit the amount of battery that you have access to until you pay them an extra fee. For the rest, you don't see that. You do not see that kind of practice in consumer electronics, and that's how we should treat these motorcycles as nowadays. We should treat them as electronics.
It's like saying, here's this beautiful 80-inch TV, but you can't have the power cable or the remote control for it unless you pay extra. You can't bloody use it at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not that dramatic, because you can use the bike, but the way I see it is that you go in and you know that this bike has heated grips. You know that it has whatever other feature I mentioned. It has a sat nav on it. Can you imagine being someone who's new to riding and you've saved up for this bike, you've got it, and then you go, I haven't got the extra $400 to actually be able to use it fully.
Even though you've already spent $16,000 or $20,000, depending on the configuration and the bike that you actually buy, the model that you buy. Nah.
It's disgusting.
Nah.
It isn't right. And I am with you. I don't think it's something we could condone as people to other riders and saying, this is a great idea.
So, whenever you go to look for a piece of free software, so you have a look, you Google some free software online, and you see all these links for the free software. So you click on the free software, you download it, you install it on your computer, and you start using it, and then you find out that actually, you can't use it because you actually have to pay for a license when they advertise the fact that it was free.
Yeah.
Right? It's very similar practice. I never ever download or install software that advertises itself as being free when it actually isn't.
It's like when someone says to you, we're giving away 100 free bottles or something, click here, and then there's the £4 postage you have to pay to get the free item.
Yeah.
And the thing isn't even worth £4 in the first place.
You see that a lot on wish.com, don't you? Where they're selling you stuff for free, but you've got to pay the postage.
Here, it's like oh gosh, what is it? It might be Wish, where you go on. I was looking for it a lot on our wedding, like AliExpress and stuff. You're like, oh, here's a penny, but $19.99 postage, and you go, what? Like,
Yeah.
I get that on Amazon as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a slight tangent, but
the thing is, electric motorcycles in this day and age at the moment are a hard sell already. Yeah. Most of us bikers are purists. We like the sound of our engines and exhausts and shifting gears and all that. We want, that's the kind of bike that we want to ride. And so when you're taking all of that away and you're charging someone more money for the same thing, except, you won't hear any sound, you won't get this, you won't get that, like we're all used to, that already makes it a hard sell. And then you have these business practices. It's like, come on, you're supposed to be encouraging people to buy into this technology because it's always advertised as the future. It's always advertised as like, this is going to happen. You have to get one of these at some point or another because by 2030 or 2035, whatever, you cannot buy an ICE motorcycle, a traditional motorcycle anymore. So it's like a captive audience, isn't it?
I have a question, and this might be me being really naive, so please don't laugh at me. But so the handlebars come. I've got two questions actually. The handlebars come heated functionality, whether you want them or not. You can't have normal handlebars.
Nope.
So you couldn't take those off and put on your own heated grips.
That's a good point. Actually, that's a good point.
Because can you? I mean, I don't know how my parents got you some, didn't they?
Yeah, no.
I don't know how they're wired up, but is there anything stopping you? Oh, he's kneading on my leg. Is there anything stopping you from taking those off and installing your own?
I bet you there are. I bet you that they have put things in the handlebars deliberately to stop you from taking the grips off.
And if you do, it'll probably void warranties or anything.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they will have that in the T's and C's, without a doubt.
It's an interesting thought.
Yeah. So basically they are going to be heavily regulating the mods that you can do to your bike. So it's almost like, well, okay, so you bought the bike, you want to mod it, but you can't. So at that point, is it really your motorcycle? I was about to say,
it's not really yours, is it? It's like you're borrowing it.
There's literally like you're borrowing it. There's a massive culture within the motorcycle community of modding motorcycles. I think all of us have modded our bikes in one way or another, whether that is changing our lights, whether that's changing fairing, whether that's adding decals, whether that's raising handlebars, getting different rear sets, buying a different seat. All of us have at some point or another modded our motorcycle. So that means that more than likely you will not be able to do that on one of these Zeros.
Yeah.
So again, like literally, I say massive community, when every single biker on the planet has modified their motorcycle at some point or another. Are you trying to tell me that bikers are going to buy into a bike that you're not going to be able to mod? I mean, I think it was Dope Style Gaming that mentioned it earlier about, well, if the features are already on the bike, can you just hack it? Can you just hack the bike and then unlock the features? I'm sure that someone at some point will find a way of doing it, but they will actively try to stop you from doing it. It's like piracy, isn't it? They will actively stop you from being able to unlock features unless you pay for them. So it's... But I mean, that's modding in future. Maybe that is the future of modding, is that instead of putting your own mods on the bike, the features are already there. You just have to find a way of unlocking them.
But that is, in a way, changing the whole culture of motorbikes.
Yeah, exactly. And people are not going to change.
Because people, you know, as far back as, I don't know, time began, people would buy cars and buy bikes, and then they tinker with them all weekend to do this, to that, to change the lights, to, I don't know, add 100... Was it Jeremy Clarkson did? Like, added loads of lights or mirrors.
mirrors.
And that was such a thing, wasn't it? But they're just taking that away. I've got really itchy eye.
Yeah. So this is the thing. It's like I said earlier. This kind of stuff is stopping stopping motorcyclists from moving into this sector. That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
The amount of people that probably thought, like myself, that probably thought, oh yeah, Zeros, they seem quite good. They look like they've got decent specs and decent range and all that. Maybe at some point I'll buy myself a Zero. Are now thinking to themselves, hell no, I'm not touching one of these bikes with a barge pole, you know?
I'm just looking at it on the 360 view just to see what it looks like all around.
Yeah.
And the light at the back, I reckon you'll even struggle to change things like the light. Because They
will literally
it'll
have
be like super
locked
glued down
everything, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be like a phone where it's sealed, so you can't change the battery, you can't change anything yourself because it is sealed. That's what these bikes will be like. They'll be sealed, and it'll only be specialists that will be able to open them properly, and and I don't know. It's like all these electronic devices that have got, when something breaks and you try fixing it yourself, they've got special screws,
Oh yeah.
special security screws that you can't, with a normal bit, you can't unscrew them.
So
it's that same kind of practice, isn't it?
I have some more really stupid questions. So the bike is effectively going to need software upgrades at times.
Yeah, well,
right?
yeah. So this is interesting actually, because I filmed a video recently on the ZH2 and a few problems that I've encountered with it whilst I've owned it. I mean, I'm not sure when that video is going to be released, probably next week. But I deliberately mention in there that I'm not sure if you can upgrade the firmware of the dashboard of the screen. So I mean, I'm assuming that you probably can on these types of bikes, the Zeros, but
my point is, you know how this whole thing with Apple came out, that they stopped upgrading certain products so that they almost forced you on to the next version.
Well, so the scandal there was and this is a practice that other mobile phone companies were doing as well, is that when the batteries got to a certain health level, they would release firmware updates that would reduce the performance of the phone. And so, I mean, from Apple's perspective, they would say, well, it is to prolong the life of the device, because you don't want your phone just dying on you when you're doing like anything normal, like a phone call, all because the battery isn't able to sustain the same amount of performance as it used to. But people took that in literally the way that, in the literal sense, that so you are deliberately cutting the performance of my phone to force me to buy a new one. Yeah. But
is that... There's nothing to say Zero won't do that either.
Exactly.
And my point is that, like I have an iPad for work, and I had two, didn't I? The first one, I could not upgrade past a certain point. It just, the software would just not work. I just couldn't do it. What's stopping Zero from saying, right, as soon as this bike gets to X amount of years old, we're going to stop this from being updated? This,
for me, is actually a really valid reason as to why they shouldn't be allowed to have access to your phone. They shouldn't be allowed to have access to internet or anything like that. There should be devices that are independent of themselves, because as soon as you start connecting your motorcycles, your cars to your phone, to the internet or what have you, you really don't know what these manufacturers could do to your car, wirelessly. And with all the things that that Zero are practicing now, it would not surprise me if that's the same attitude that they decide to have. Is it?
Yeah.
So, okay, so you have your bike registered to your phone. You have your Zero motorcycle registered to your phone. You sell that bike, and then you deregister that bike from your phone, and then in the process of re-registering for the buyer, the new rider, they have to unlock all the features again. There's no reason why they can't do that kind of stuff.
It should almost...
if it gets, like you were saying, if it gets to a certain mileage or a certain age, they can start reducing the performance over time.
Yeah.
So then you think to yourself, oh well, that the battery's dying or the bike isn't performing as well as it used to, so I've got to buy a new one, and just trick consumers into thinking that their bikes are getting old when they're actually not. And that's another thing. Bikers will keep their bikes for a long time. So when you buy a motorcycle, it's not one of those things that you necessarily trade out all that often. You might keep a bike for 20 years or 10 years or something like that. So this could be a way that these companies might decide to force your hand in a way, is that if you've owned it for 5 years or something, they'll be like, this person deserves an upgrade.
No, we deserve more money. Let's break their bike.
Yeah.
That's the real view.
Yeah, let's brick their bike so they have to buy a new one.
Let's make them think that their bike is obsolete, and they have to have a new one, and that's what they'll do. Because
again, I don't think it's going to be cost effective enough for them to turn around and say, well, okay, if your bike dies or the battery dies, then we'll replace the battery, because they will make less profit off of replacing just the battery than selling a whole new motorcycle to you.
What they could end up doing is with the, like, say the heated grips as an example, they might say that you can pay for it for 1 year, it'll be £195, or you can have it for 3 or 5 years. But if they did that, if they took that approach, for instance, like service plans, if you then sold your bike and you had 3 years left on your whatever, then that should go with the bike, that should be transferable. So that's one way they could get around it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm trying to defend them.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is indefensible. There is no reason why they should be doing this. That's the point here. There's no the only reason is to make a little bit of extra money, but it's only a little bit of extra money. That's the problem. It's $500 to unlock features that are already on the bike. You know, like $500. Like you've already invested the money in building the motorcycle. Just charge, right? I would be perfectly happy with this. $16,000 for the base model. Just put an extra $500 on top of the price tag. I'd be happy to pay the extra $500 knowing that I'm going to be getting the bike that I wanted, you know, with all the features I wanted. If there are things that you actually physically have to bolt onto the bike, I understand the extra cost of that, you know, like the extra battery storage to pay for that. I get that, you know, but for things that are already on the bike, just charge a little bit more. Consumers will be more than happy to pay a little bit more to get the bike that they thought they were getting, you know, rather than this nonsense. They don't need to be doing this. And I mean, that's what's got so many people riled up about this. And I'm glad that a channel with such influence like Yummy Noob can turn around and say basically whatever they want about these bikes, and they're not afraid to be honest with consumers, is a real benefit to the motorcycling community. And we are going to echo those exact same messages. These bad consumer practices, we will echo the exact same messages to hopefully change the way how these companies decide to operate, so they can be more consumer friendly, so they can be more in touch with the communities that they are trying to sell to. You know, it doesn't make sense for a company to do this. So that's why we have a responsibility as influencers, as, you know, enthusiasts. We have a responsibility to inform our communities about these companies that have these bad practices, and hopefully that will get them to change. Yeah. Because I think they have a good product on their hands. That's the most annoying thing for me, is that they have a good product on their hands and they're ruining that product because they want to make an extra $500 off people. You know, it's just things like that. If most companies, most car manufacturers, most motorcycle manufacturers would swallow the cost just so their consumers got imagine if Yamaha thinks, right, this is what consumers want in this day and age, so we're going to build a motorcycle with all these features and we want to charge this amount of money for it, you know, and this is how much profit we're going to make on it and all that. A company like Yamaha, if they developed this bike and the engineering team said, look, it's actually going to cost a little bit more to install these features, they would swallow that extra cost and still keep the price exactly the same as what they intended, because they know that it's going to get sales at that particular price point for those particular features.
And that's the right thing to do.
And it's the right thing to do. You know, Toyota are famous for doing this. Absolutely famous for, you know, even if you have bought a Toyota that is 20 years old and has had 10 different owners, and there's a problem with the car that should never have happened, Toyota will fix it for you for free. They will fix it for you because they believe in their products. They believe in the right consumer practices. That's why Toyota are an amazing company, and a lot of companies emulate Toyota. You know, Honda, again, another company that tries to emulate those same kind of ethics. You know, these are the kinds of companies that we should be praising, that we should be encouraging, that we should be telling people to go and buy their products, because they will support you. Yeah. You know, even if it's a motorcycle or a car that is 20 years old, they will still help you with it. If there's something happen, you know, if a freak thing happened that shouldn't have happened with it. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, I can't think off the top of my head. But say, for example, if the gearbox had blown for no reason and it was running perfectly fine before then, even if the bike has got 200,000 miles or something like that, they will still fix it.
Well, Honda have always been really good with my car, haven't they?
Yeah, but basically, companies like Toyota and Honda, they are the companies that every other company should be trying to emulate.
Yeah, they're elite, aren't they?
And then you get companies like Zero, which are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Do you think Zero is like reflective of their place in the world, just at the very bottom?
Yeah. What's the motorcycle worth? 0.
Yeah.
They've literally got it branded all over their bikes. 0
We're
F.
worthless.
0 F's given.
Yeah. And on that note.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's like I was saying earlier. I'm never ever going to buy a Zero motorcycle as long as they keep up these kinds of practices, and I won't even test ride one. I won't even bother showing the world or promoting a motorcycle that I think actually does not deserve to be promoted, or a company that does not deserve to be promoted, unless it's this, to highlight issues with companies, But yeah, let's have a look at the chat, because we've kind of been ignoring you guys a little bit here today.
You got some way to go to the top. There's a lot of comments.
Yeah, there
great.
isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of inter-community chatting, which I always like.
Landria, good to see you. How you doing?
Sacramento.
New face from Sacramento.
Amazing.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Yeah, Fidelity, good to see you. Dopestyle Gaming, good to see you. Debbia, good to see you.
Ashley.
Not seen you before. Ashley. Who else? Mark, good to see you, mate. How you doing?
We've got
Pasty, good to see you. Good to see you. And 125 guy, good to see you. You guys are awesome. Yeah, good stuff. Right, let's have a look here. Let's have a quick look. Right. So Dopestyle Gaming question. Let's say you total your Zero motorcycle and you've already bought all the extras. If it was under warranty, do you get the base bike or do you have to rebuy the extras?
It's an interesting point.
Yeah, and
I guess it depends on how they're doing the whole unlocking thing, whether it's unlocked for life or...
I would say that, if the insurance company was paying out for a write-off, that the insurance company would also pay for the extras that you pay for as well.
It's an interesting point, how you get that covered on your... Because does it come under accessories, which aren't often covered or might not always be covered?
Wow, okay, now you really are going in a rabbit hole. Yeah, could these be classed as extras?
Could they be classed
or accessories,
and they may not be covered. So
they may not be
there's
covered
a good
under
point
insurance.
There,
yeah,
that you may just get your the price of the base bike back. Wow, it's been a long day. That was a lot of these though, to be fair. But yeah, no, it's an interesting...
Dopestyle Gaming, God, my brain's getting set off with all these thoughts. Yeah, I know, mate. I know what you're talking about.
Once my brain goes, though, I have to go with it. I'm gone.
Literally, but this topic is such a deep rabbit hole. We could be talking about this all night.
Yeah.
Fidelity, any vehicle has to be fitted with an OBD2 port, so tuning will always be available. Well,
interesting.
That could be changing because an OBD2 port is for ICEs. What's to stop Zero from just putting in a USB socket instead? Like a Type C socket, a Type C connector or something. You never know. That might be the approach that they take, because we don't know what the rules. We don't know if they have to comply to the same rules as ICEs. So that would be interesting to see if they did have an OBD port and whether or not they would actually let you fiddle around with it.
Or they'll make a whole new connection that you can't buy on the standard market, and you can only get it through them.
Yeah, that's it. Fidelity, I use Quadlock, but I also have Navi through an app that's displayed on the screen. It's pretty good. Yeah, Quadlock. That's a brand, isn't it? Yeah, I've not tried Quadlock before, so might have to buy one of those at some point and see if they're any good.
Yeah.
Mark, once again, late to the party for the second week in a row. Anyhow, greetings from France this week. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day or a good time in France. So, let us know where you are in France. Are you in the south of France? Are you in Paris? Are you in Toulouse? Yeah, let us know.
Hopefully it's for holiday, not for work.
Yeah, fingers crossed it is actually for your for your benefit.
Yeah.
Pasty, did you know BMW do it on some of their bikes? I had heard rumours. I'd never known firsthand that BMW had done this kind of stuff, but it doesn't surprise me. Is that bad that I say that? It doesn't surprise me that BMW have this same practice. I think I heard about this in their cars, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not on their motorcycles. I don't know. I'll need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure I heard about features they have to buy in their cars rather than motorcycles, but there's nothing stopping them from doing the same thing on their bikes, is there really? So yeah, that's a very good point as well. But that's why no one should buy BMWs. If this is the kind of thing that they're going to do, if this is the kind of nonsense they're going to pull on their customers, people shouldn't buy them, as far as I'm concerned. Mark, stop the bus. That 125 guy and Lone Wolf are missing. yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know where Lone Wolf is this week, but yeah, yeah, 125 guy's got on in there though.
He's taken us on his errands. We're in his pocket right now.
Yeah.
It's a bit dark in here, but
125 guy. Hey everyone, sorry not been chatting today. Been riding home, so it's been a podcast. Today for me. Hope everyone's well. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Glad you could make it. Don't Stop Gaming, he's here.
That's like a fanfare. That's amazing. I was watching it come in.
This is great. Let's have a look here. Oh, Pastor, yeah, I'm guessing you watched Yaminu's recent video on this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the inspiration behind today's show, really, was that video, because it was so shocking to me. So shocking. 125 guy, Zero have taken Activision's thought on things, cough, cough, loot boxes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's so true. Yeah, again, same exact business practices there as well. Yeah. Fidelity, Goblin Rise, you've not heard about BMW then? My F900R has every extra save cruise control, but I have to add it for a cost of 500 plus.
That's a lot for cruise control. And how much would you really use?
See, I mean, well, we mentioned the BMWs earlier as well. So I mentioned about BMW cars. I didn't know this about their bikes, but I wouldn't buy a BMW. If that's the case, there are so many bikes out there that will have these features for a set price. And BMWs are more expensive usually anyway. So what's the point, in my opinion? What's the point in buying a BMW if this is how you're going to get treated? If Zero are doing this, or if BMW are doing this, I don't want anything to do with them. I'm not interested. Not interested in buying their motorcycles, because it's anti-consumer practices. That's the biggest problem. So Fidelity, if you ever get the chance, mate, go ahead and sell that F900. I'm only joking. I know that people like BMWs and all that, but still, it's not right, is it? You know, it's not right. Mark, don't worry, it'll all get sorted. It was Boris's fault. Greg, good to see you, mate. Evening. Mark, 40 miles north of Paris. We've had a child in our care for a year now who returns to their family next week. This is her going away present from us, being at Disney all week. Oh, mate, that's so sweet. That sounds amazing. That's so cool. Fair play. That's absolutely wicked. Lone Wolf, someone mentioned my name. Hey, you made it. How you doing, mate? Good to see you. Don't we, when certain people aren't? And we have a chat after. I'm like, where were they? Are they okay? Yeah, because we've got a community, and we're like, oh, I hope they're all right, because they're not here today.
Yeah, I know. You know. We get a bit concerned, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Dope Star Gaming, I don't have the same issue with BMW doing it, only because they've already established themselves within the market and already have their diehards. Yeah, I suppose that's true. But then again, though, I mean, BMW, of course, never used to do this. BMW as a brand has been a popular brand for a long time. So this practice, I don't know how long it's been going on for.
I don't know.
It could only be 5 years. At some point, if someone decides to buy a BMW because they're like, we're so happy with their old bike, they think, I'm going to buy the newest model of this bike, of the same bike, and then BMW the sales rep turn around and say, oh, sorry, you can't have all the features that you had on your old bike you got to pay some more for it, it's going to drive people away.
My dad wouldn't do it.
No, and your dad's a BMW guy.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I'd be curious to see if when he does come around to buy his next bike, whether or not it is actually going to be a BMW.
He doesn't want a BMW. He tells me he doesn't want a BMW next.
Yeah, I hope not. But yeah, it will eventually start driving customers away. That's the problem. And BMW are such they're a great brand.
They're reputable.
Yeah, they're a great brand. They're a great car brand. I mean, their motorcycle reliability is questionable and all that, but they're a really good brand. So it would be a shame to see them fall to the same practices that Zero are doing.
Especially as this is not common practice in the motorcycle community.
Yeah.
That's our point, isn't it?
Yeah. Capio, good to see you, mate. How you doing? They say, no idea how I found this channel, but what is wrong with Zeros? Okay, so you've missed the whole show, but basically Zero's charging for features that are already on their bikes. Basically we've been talking about the prices, and so you buy the bike, which is already a very expensive bike, and then Zero are asking you to pay a little bit more for features that are already built into the bike, and it's not a practice that you see that often, but obviously, as we found out today, BMW obviously doing it as well. I'm not sure to what extent on BMW side, but this is on all of their bikes for Zero, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, that's what we're discussing today. Oh, Dostal Gaming. I saw that Crash 125 guy. That was mental. We still need to watch that. So yeah, don't spoil it.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Let's have a look here. 125 guy. Hey Wolf, glad you made it. Dope style. Thanks for checking it out. I was in bed
in a bad way.
Excuse me. Probably were in bed. I was in a bad way for a while, but only took me 2 weeks to get back on the bike. Okay, that's good then. Capio, I have an electric scooter. I get 55 miles per hour and 60-mile range. Ideal commuter. Yeah. For scooters, I actually think that electric scooters make a ton of sense. Because they don't need to have a lot of range. You're not like going to be doing cross-country tours on them. It's mainly for traveling around towns and stuff. And they make so much sense. So electric scooters are definitely the way that scooters should go, I think, in my opinion. Fidelity, I love the bike. It's great fun. I just couldn't justify the extra spend for one feature. See, but doesn't that put you off? That's the F900, wasn't it? Doesn't that put you off, though? Knowing that you have a feature on the bike that you can't access until you pay BMW an extra wad of cash.
It's like playing a video game and you can't beat the final boss, so you can't complete it. You don't have the whole experience of the game.
I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? Is that when you're in love with a bike, when you're in love with a car, when you're in love with anything, you do whatever you can to keep hold of it. No one can tell you otherwise. No one can tell you to let go of it or what have you, because you love it. It's yours. And I mean that's the thing that BMWs are famous for. So yeah, that does make sense.
Getting you hooked.
Yeah, awesome. So it's great to see you all in the chat. So Low Morph, glad you could make it, and 125 guy, glad you could make it as well. Mark, obviously glad you can make it, especially from France. That's absolutely wicked. So thank you ever so much for joining us today.
A lot.
Yeah, it does mean a lot, especially when you're doing something important and great. It's a good thing that you're doing.
And I'm really jealous because I really want to go to Disney, and I've never been. I'm not such a Disney fan myself. So. No, I mean if we get to go to Japan, then that's where I'd like to do it. Really.
Yeah, we'll try it in Japan. Hopefully we'll get the chance. But okay, Fidelity. So it's not even there. Right. Okay.
Right. So it's slightly different then.
So it is different.
It's not there, and you just can't use it.
Yeah,
you have to have it added in.
Yeah. This is not what we're arguing. If it's an extra that someone has to physically put on the bike, that makes sense to charge extra for it and to charge the labor and all that. For Zero motorcycles, these features are there. They're already on the bike. When they sell it to you, they're already on the bike. You just have to pay extra to unlock them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's absolutely fine. I have no issue with that because that's fairly standard practice.
That's fair game,
well.
isn't it?
Yeah.
You can then choose if you want it on your bike or not. But Zero is saying you're gonna have it, but you can't use it unless you pay us for it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, I think we're going to leave the show here for today. So yeah, thank you ever so much again for all of you, joining us today. And yeah, it's good to see a few new faces as well. So yeah, awesome. Hope you've enjoyed the show today. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, leave a like as always. I don't like doing that stuff at the end of live shows because it doesn't feel right.
No, and obviously want to make sure they get their notifications as well.
Oh yeah,
that's
true.
Bell.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
see more of
And
this.
give us your feedback on the reaction stuff that we're doing. So it's going to be every Wednesday. We're going to be releasing a reaction video. So let us know your feedback on that. If it's something that is fun, because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, comedic, and it's not supposed to be serious. No.
Has one come out already?
Yeah, one came out yesterday.
I'm up to date with our schedule.
Yeah.
I'm working every hour under the sun at the moment. I'm working my day, 10 hours at my job, and then I'm finish that, and I go straight into Goblin Ride till midnight. So I'm getting about 5 hours sleep a night. So that's why I'm a little bit all over. But it's even in a different setting, the reaction video. So it's completely different. It's just fun and
let us know what you think about them because if it's content that you guys aren't interested in or what have you, then we won't bother doing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's something that you think is good, it's funny, or it's informative or entertaining, then that's really what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So, one last thing here before we sign off. Dope Star Gaming has mentioned about the electronically limited speeds. Yeah, because that happened yesterday, didn't it? That became law. So the whole speed limiter thing.
Yeah.
In new cars from yesterday, all new cars that are sold in the UK and Europe have to have these cameras and these GPS systems which will decrease speeds automatically or will stop you from speeding.
First COVID and now that.
I mean,
that's a pandemic in itself.
They do allow you to turn it off but you have to do it every single time you start the car. You have to turn it off manually.
People are just going to forget or not be bothered, aren't they?
I'm used to doing that already for the start-stop. I always turn off start-stop in my car anyway.
And mine.
So I suppose just pressing an extra button isn't going to be too much of a problem.
But they're going to make it really difficult to find.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? Yeah, they're going to put it in the software somewhere.
Or it's going to be... This is for ICEs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be under the bonnet next to the engine or something.
Yeah.
It's a really bizarre place.
Yeah, so we'll see how that all unfolds, but I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
We're supposed to be living in a free country, and if we choose to speed with the knowledge, knowing that if we get caught we will be punished for it, that should be a choice that we should be allowed to make.
They're taking away our rights ever so slowly, one by one, so that we're not free people anymore.
Oh, we're getting a bit too political now, wifey, I think.
Let's sign off. I think that's a hanger talking there.
Yeah, that's it. But anyway, thank you again ever so much for watching, guys and gals. So we've got our usual release tomorrow, so hopefully I'll see you then. We're gonna have a ZZR video out tomorrow. Ooh. So I haven't written that for a couple of weeks. Well, hasn't a video on that in a couple of weeks. So be good for you lot to see the ZZR back out again. But yeah, if you don't catch you tomorrow, hope you have a good weekend. And Mark, hope you have a good time in France. Your remaining time there. Hope it's going well, and hope you're enjoying yourself. But yeah, we will catch you all next week. So have a good one, guys and gals. Ride safe.
You took my line. That's my line. Ride safe.
Yeah, we'll catch you all next week. Have a good one.
I feel like the end of the news where they wait. We should have some papers to shuffle while we're waiting.
Yeah, I missed this chat from Mr. Dodo as well. I say electric scooters and cars are great for urban
I didn't see that.
local travel. If I did my drive from Leeds to Italy in EV, it would be an extra half a day. But that's what I was saying
Dodo,
earlier. That it makes a lot of sense.
Oh God, new people are finding us. It's amazing.